Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing a Assassin Rogue PvP guide. This is something you guys want me to do. So let's go ahead and get this started with the talents. For the most part, I run the same build I did in Dragonflight. There's a little bit of change, like for example, we don't have Shadow Dance anymore. If you played the AoE build in Dragonflight, it's pretty much the same thing. It's just like I said, the only difference is you don't have Shadow Dance anymore. And you do have Double Vanish, which you didn't have before, which is nice. So uh, I'm not going to go over like all the talents and everything, but you kind of got the general idea. Um, you can kind of probably switch some things out. Like some people don't run Cold Blood. I personally like Cold Blood, so if you don't want to run Cold Blood, you can switch it out for a different talent. I think some people go with Acrobatic Strikes, but I just prefer Cold Blood because I usually use it with Kingsbane. That's strictly up to you, but this is the build I currently run. It's basically a AoE cleave type build, which is nice for like team fights, for example, arena, battleground team fights. If you run maps like, for example, the new deep hole ravine map, which is basically team fight oriented. I think that's how you say it right. I probably said it wrong. If I did, I did. Where you'll probably be in team fights a lot. This helps out a lot. It's also obviously good for 1v1s too. And so, yeah. This is my build and my personal preference and what I like the most. Now let's go over honor talents real quick. There's a few different ones you can run. Hemotoxin, I almost always use this one, but if there's a Moral Strike class in Arena, you could probably switch it out if you really want to. I usually always run this though. Smoke Bomb, always run this one. It helps you get kills, especially at the right time. Can't tell you how many times I've gotten a kill on somebody just because Smoke Bomb saved it. It's crazy, one of the best things in the game. So I almost always use this. The other one, you can flex out whatever you want. Veil of Midnight is very helpful against things like, you know, another Assassin Rogue or Feral Druid, Warrior, stuff like that. Or you can run Disarm if there's a Paladin, a Warrior, or a DK especially because they can't Death Strike, you know, stuff like that. So I usually switch out between Veil of Midnight and Dismantle. Those are the ones I usually go to depending on what I face, obviously. So, but those are the 5 honor talents I usually almost always switch. Thick of Thieves is also probably another decent one you can use too, but I don't use that as often. So that's it for honor talents. Now let's go over hero talents. I'm gonna be 100% honest. The hero talents for Rogue are completely disappointing, and they're actually both good. I've tested both, and more people seem to go with Deathstalker. My personal preference out of the two is Deathstalker. Fatebound is kind of like, I feel like, more team fight oriented, team fight playstyle. So if you're more like into the team fights, you'll probably be playing Fatebound more. If you're going off and doing your own thing solo, Deathstalker, in my opinion, is better. I feel like Deathstalker is better in like 1v1 situations, and Fatebound is um, team fight better. The reason why that is because we don't have Shadow Dance anymore, and a lot of Deathstalker's damage comes from ambushing people, which you can only use in stealth. So, since you won't have Shadow Dance anymore, you'll have to, like, if you're not Night Elf, for example, you have to vanish offensively just to put another ambush on somebody instead of using it as a defensive, if that makes much sense. So, most of your damage will be coming from using ambush on people to getting the death mark up. So that's the downside of playing Deathstalker. So if you're into a team fight for a long time, um, Deathstalker is not really that much better. So probably something probably like for Arena maybe, Fatebound might be better. And also for Deathmark, for example, you can only use on one target at a time as well. So Deathstalker basically, to sum it up, Deathstalker for like 1v1s, the type of stuff, and Fatebound probably for like team fights and all that. Either way, both of them are pretty good. I think from what I've been told, they're about even at the moment. Like, there's a lot of people that are like split on playing each one. So I would just go with whichever one is your personal preference for the hero talent tree. All right, up next is stats. Just pretty much go full versatility mastery. That's literally all there is to it. You're gonna want to craft stuff that's like versatility mastery on it if there's nothing on it, and just get as much as mastery as possible. That's literally it. Uh, Other gear piece I have at the moment is crits, but I've seen some rigs with haste. I don't think anybody really knows for sure what the other stat to go for at the moment is, because you just basically want to go full on mastery. But I guess you can go either haste or crit. Doesn't really matter. Just make sure you get as much versatility mastery as possible. That's pretty much all you need. It's pretty much the same thing as Dragonflight. And that's pretty much the stats. Alright, up next is embellishments. Embellishments are a little bit different this expansion. Last expansion, we would play like something like the boots where you would CC somebody and you would get a stat buff for if you guys remember that. For this one, for this expansion, most of the embellishments have been kind of like, I feel like meh. I ended up crafting both of these on my weapon. I think there's a few different ones you could probably go. I haven't really gotten the chance to test these because everything is so expensive this expansion. Like it's crazy how expensive everything is. But I think some other ones you could probably go. Let me see if I can bring it up real quick. There's another one that a combo I've seen people use. Is Dark Moon Sigil Ascension, and then you can use a combo with it. It might get nerfed soon. That's what people are telling me. So do this at your own risk, which is why I didn't really not post it, but that's why I didn't really do it on my rogue. And then after you get the one I just showed you, you combo it with Withering Armor Banding. And basically this doubles the effect of the Ascension thing I just showed you. If you don't want either of those, you can just kind of look for an embellishment that looks decent to you. Because like I said, most of the embellishments this expansion kind of like a little bit meh, but I kind of like this one. So I just ended up choosing the damaging one that gives me increased secondary stats now. That's pretty much it for embellishments. It's short and sweet. Just either pick one of the two I just showed you, or you can kind of pick some different ones that look a little bit interesting to you. But I'm gonna be honest, none of the embellishments kind of looked interesting besides the ones I just kind of showed you guys. Alright, up next is tier. I'm not sure about the 4 sets yet, but as of right now, I'm using the 2 set. You get a free tier piece from getting 1,600 ratings. So if you want a free tier piece to give you less conquest to farm, you can get it from Battle Remblets, 2v2, 3v3, Raid Battleground, Soul Shuffle. I went for Soul Shuffle route because Soul Shuffle, in my opinion, is easier to climb than Battle Remblets. At least it feels that way. So if you want a free tier piece, make sure you get 1,600 rating. If you don't get it in your bags, check your mailbox because it was mailed to me every single time apparently. I don't know why, but yeah, just check your mailbox. What I chose tier-wise is pants and shoulders, because shoulders has mastery on it. It has versatility as well, and pants has mastery on it. So I would buy the tier piece pants because it's expensive. So, but yeah, that's just me. Apparently, some people are buying the helmet as well, but you can buy either the helmet or the pants. But I went with the pants. So. And that is it for the tier. Let's see. Let's go over enchants. Enchants, they are super expensive at the moment, so do keep that in mind. You don't have to absolutely buy the best one, because I haven't been doing that. For enchants, just make sure you buy either Storm Rider's Agility or Crystalline Radiance for chests. For leg armor, you want the agility / stamina one. Just type in armor and it'll pop up. For weapon enchants, you'll want stone Bound Artistry as a second option if you want the best enchant, but like I said, it's super expensive. It would be a third, a 30 of Radiant Power, which you can see getting 2 of these would be like basically almost 80k gold. So actually, it probably is 80k gold, but yeah, getting 2 of these is absolutely ridiculous. So you can see the enchants are just so expensive. So I would just, if you are hurting for gold, Stonebound Artistry is what I picked. I bought 2, the second one, which is only 5k, which is not really a whole lot. So that's what I went with. It's not really that huge of a difference between number 3 or not. So like I said, it's up to you if you want to do that. Technically, you'll be using this until like season 2 anyway, so keep in mind that is up to you. Enchants, I went with Mastery Enchants, of course. Up to you on if you want to buy the expensive one or not. Enchants for boots, there's the stamina one. They're currently expensive, so I didn't buy it on mine yet. There's also cloak enchant and bracers for like speed, I believe, which I don't have those either, but you can get those as well. And that is basically it for enchants. All right, now for rotation. This is going to be for Deathstalker. For Fatebound, it's a little bit different, minus like ambush. You won't. I don't really use ambush for Fatebound. I think, if I remember right. I haven't used Fatebound in a while because I've been sticking with Deathstalker. So I don't think Fatebound uses ambush. So for Deathstalker, what I like to do is open up with Garrotes, ambush to get my death mark, into a Venom, Shiv, Thistletea, King's Bane, and then that's pretty much it. Yeah, maintain your dots as much as possible. After that, I like to Fan of Knives if there's a lot of people, and Crimson Tempest. And other than that, it's pretty much just make sure your dots are maintained. So make sure you keep your Rupture up, make sure you keep your Garrotes up, Shiv and Venoms during that, so you can do a lot of damage, and so on and so forth. And use Thistletea if you need energy, of course, but try to save Thistletea for a Kingsbane burst, because you can see it can hit very hard with the right combo. So I'm gonna redo it one more time as soon as my Kingsbane's back up in 7 seconds. Also, my poisons apparently came off, so let's go reapply those real quick. So basically what I do, Garrotes, ambush, rupture, Shiv, Thistletea, Kingsbane, and then spam Fan of Knives if people are stacked into Crimson Tempest, and everybody's just, you can see the amount of bleeds I just did to everybody. Also, another thing that you want to try to do is try to open up with the Garrotes and Rupture with as many people as possible, because if you do, and you're running Indiscriminate Carnage, which you should be anyways, Garrote and Rupture will apply to nearby enemies, only to the 2, and that'll give you more dots and people to cleave them down, which is why Assassination is really good in team fights, because you can just cleave as many targets as possible with all the dots and all that fun stuff. And that's pretty much it for the rotation, pretty much. It's just short and simple, so maintain your dots. Hold on, let me redo that real quick. I'm just gonna vanish here. Garrotes, ambush, rupture, Shiv, Thistletea, Kingsbane, Fan of Knives, Crimson Tempest, and then from there, just use Middleights and Envenoms while maintaining your dots. You can even use Fan of Knives if people are stacked to get points that way, since Fan of Knives is technically less energy than a Middleight is. So, pretty easy. And yeah. Now for my macros, I really only use like 2 macros. I know I have a bunch here, but only really 2 of them I use. If you want to go like full super sweat mode for high rating, you'll need like set focus macros for like kicks and shadow steps and blinds and all that too, but I am not using those. It'll make life a lot easier for you just as ahead of time. But I use a Kingsbane macro, and what it does is it uses my trinkets, which I have right now, and it activates Cold Blood at the same time and Kingsbane. For example, I'll show you right now what it does. So I pop my macro, it used my Cold Blood and my macro, or I mean, not my macro, it used my PvP trinket and my Cold Blood, and then a Kingsbane for basically a huge crit. It's obviously more if I use a bunch of abilities beforehand, but that's basically what the macro does. It's all into one thing, so it's very helpful. And then I have a Death Mark macro obviously I don't have Blood Fury anymore because I'm not Orc, so I can get rid of that. And then if I'm Merc mode, it transfers me into a Troll, which I use for Berserking into the macro. And then Saltwater Potions for random battlegrounds, and that's basically it. That's just my burst macro. That's pretty much it. Some extra tips, I guess. Just make sure you maintain dots as much people as you can. I already covered that. Try to open up on people that are kind of stacked so you get more dots on them with Garrote and Rupture, because one of the talents spreads to nearby. You can easily snap cap people in Battle Run Blitz, so try and do that. That's about what I can think of for now. And I think that covers up everything pretty much. So hopefully this guide helps you guys out. And if you have any more questions, let me know in the comment section down below. See you guys later.